Now, you may recall a few months ago, a similar situation to Ferguson happened in Hearne.
And today, the Hearne community is speaking out about the violence they're seeing in the media. Now, some say the grand jury's decision not to charge an officer in September for the shooting death of an elderly woman in Hearne could have sparked outrage, but it was a time where the community bonded together for change. KAGS HD News reporter Tashara Parker shows us why council members say now is the time for residents in Ferguson to do the same.
Justice! What do we want? Justice!
This is just one example of a peaceful protest in Hearne 6 months ago.
The comparison with us in the situation, how we handled it versus the way how Ferguson handled it, I'm proud of my community. We didn't tear our community up.
Earlier this year, Pearlie Golden's death rocked a small Texas town when the 93-year-old woman was shot and killed by Officer Stephen Stem. A few months later, that same officer would not be charged with the crime.
We didn't drag Miss Pearlie's death in vain. We all handled it together. We all stood together as a community.
Councilwoman Hazel Imbra says violence was never a thought when the officer was not charged.
I realized that even the officer have a job to do. They are to protect and to serve. He also has to obey the laws of the land.
So while Imbra understands the hurt the Ferguson community feels, she says taking the law into your own hands is simply not the best option.
And any time that you violate that law, then there's always a consequence.
Although residents from the city of Hearne say they were in the same situation several months ago when 93-year-old Pearlie Golden was shot and killed right here in front of her very home, they say right now is not the time for looting. Instead, it's a time for a prayer for both sides of the aisle. That includes prayer for healing for Michael Brown's family and also for Officer Darren Wilson.
I'm praying for that we all have peace and we all come to some resolution besides this violence on violence. It's just not happening.
Both council members say they believe in doing things in order, something they feel the Hearne community did when they lost Pearlie Golden. Now their only hope is that the looting in Ferguson stops and the residents of that community will start to heal as well. In Hearne, Tashara Parker, KAGS HD News.